It's on mute, Abhishek.
Hello.
Yeah, it's audible now. It's audible now.
Okay. So I was just saying that last class we have seen control statement if else, then advanced control statement like nested if else we have seen. Okay. We have seen one examples of those, and I've shared the shell scripts in the shell script folder. Okay. So there are two to three shell scripts for each example. Then loops we have seen. So like for loop. So how we write in different languages like C, C++, then how we write it in this shell script. Okay. So we have seen example of that. Then while loop we have seen. Okay. After while loop, now we have left with two things like switch case and second is function. That's it. This switch cases, you can say switch is alternative of nested if else only. Okay. So here we write like for example, there is some service which we want to start. Okay. So we are following some, we have written some shell script for that. In that case, we are writing, say, some shell script. Okay. Now, uh, here we will be following uh, this uh, command line argument as well. Okay. So like just for an example, like case uh, here we have taken this one. Okay. Now here we'll write like that, like switch case is there. So there are some statements like straight away if we go in the switch case. So for example, there is a Nginx service. Okay. So we can do three things like start, stop, restart the service, all those things. Just a simple example, like either we will be starting the script and after that you will execute some statements like echo and all, like service started or whatever you want. Some statements will come. Then second option, like you have, so this will be based on what you give there while running the script. Okay. Second statement, like you are stopping it. So stop. Now whenever you give this stop, this is not a kind of function. We are just giving some statements. So based on this stop, we will give some echo statements here. Okay. Where we have stopped the service or like this. Depends on whatever input you are giving. Okay. So if you are giving start here, so it will execute these. If you are giving stop here, it will execute these statements. Okay. And then restart. So if you are executing restart, then some other statements may be executed. So here I write statements like this. And after this, this will be complete. Like if others are there, that's why I've written star. If some other conditions are there, okay. So there can be many conditions in switch case. It's just a kind of syntax, okay. And then escape, okay. So if we see, this is kind of a syntax of switch case, you can say. After this, we can understand with an example. Example is like we have created some file, switch case .sh. So we write the shell script like echo and switch case example. We close this. Now here case. This will be the argument, and where in. Now when we states in, like here it will start. Okay, so we'll give an start. Since we are running a shell script such like we are starting, stopping, or restarting any service. So start. Now once you give start, like after start, you have to, whatever the control statement will be or whatever the argument you will be giving, after that you have to put a bracket. Okay, and after putting a bracket, now you can give some statements like echo uh, starting anything. It can be a server or it can be anything. It can be any service. Okay, so starting, I'll write here. So server or service also. And here it will come like echo started. Now here after this you have to give double semicolon just to break that statement. Okay, so that completely it switches from that start to the next. Like if you will give, in case if you will give start as a statement, so if start is executed, service is started, it should break here and it should come out of that. Okay, it's not that I don't want then other statements to be executed or other cases to be executed, so double. Okay, just to break that. So this is a kind of a break, you can say. So this I'll write here. I'll write in bracket. Double semicolon. Is to terminate the script after the desired is achieved, like this. Then again another statement will be coming, like if you want to stop, again like this, stopping the SQL server or stopping the service or stopping anything, whatever you want. Okay, so here stopping XYZ server or service, here stop And then after this, again, 2 semicolon for the same purpose. Since we have achieved the stop state of the server or service, again 2 semicolon. Then third one, restart. So again, here will be close, and then these 2 statements will be coming, and here restarting. Restarted. After this, we have a star here, and then we will close. And I can give a note here as well for this note. Star is for default will be executed if you don't pass any value. So if you will not give any value in the command console, it will execute the default, whatever it is. Okay. And after this, you can have you have pass stop, either start, either restart. This is finished here, and then escape. You can give some statement, echo, switch case example completed. Like this. So this is switch case. Okay. So here you will be writing statements and like executing something, then statements for that. Then if you have given something else in the command line interface, then you will write whatever statements you have to execute over there. Like for example, in this switch case, I can also read a number. Like how I can give in the command prompt using the read command as well. So say I'm doing it like please enter the number from 1 to 5. So I'll write the command there. Here I'll write echo, please enter the number from 1 to 5. Then here I'll give the read command. Okay, read number. So then case $number in. So now it will ask me to write any number like between 1 to 5. I'll give any number. So first statement will execute like if I have given any number. If I've given 1, so it will type like you have typed 1 and you have typed correct number in the range. So that first statement will be executed and it will come out of the okay like this. So let's see, we have an example over here, switch case as well. Switch, while loop, switch. Switch case. I'm just copying this. Okay. So vi switch case dot sh. Let's insert here. State colon W2 enter. Let's see cat switch case. Okay. Now you can see here, like, enter a number between 1 to 10, read the number. So it will read out the number. Now case dollar number in. Statements now here are coming, like first if you enter 1, echo you have entered 1, then finished. So if you enter 1, it will execute this statement and it will break, come out of that. Okay. You entered 2, you entered 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you have to enter between 1 to 10. If you enter 11, that will say invalid number. Okay. So if you enter between 1 to 10, you will get a desired result. But asterisk is there. If you entered some another number, it will have a default answer for you. That is invalid number. So you should enter the numbers between 1 and 10 only. Now give the permissions chmod u plus x switch case. Okay, switch case. Given the permissions, now you can run. Switch case. Enter a number 1 to 10. Let's enter 2. You have entered the number of 2. Again, run that shell script. Enter the number 11. Invalid number. You should enter the numbers between 1 and 10 only. Got it? What is a switch case?
Yes, sir.
Now, a last one is remaining here, that is functions. Okay.
Abhishek, here the double colon semicolon is break statement, right?
Yes, break statement means if the whatever you wanted, if that is achieved,
Okay.
so it will come out of that script. Okay, that's a break statement. I've written in the note here. Where's this note? Double semicolon is to terminate the script after the desired is achieved.
Usually we have the default statement. No, I mean it can execute even after executing one of the case statements. How to do that? Star is else. I mean completely.
Star will be see, if I'm not giving anything, if you're running here, running the shell script here, and say I'm not giving anything.
Okay.
So desired whatever the default statement, it got executed. Invalid number.
So here, if at all we are giving one, okay, you have entered one is being printed. At the same time, even we want some other things. Thanks for giving some statement like default, which should be executed after executing one of the case statements. How it should be done?
What do you want to give here?
For example, see if here star means 1 to apart from 1 to 10, right?
Apart from 1 to 10, see 1 to 10 is the condition. If I give those numbers, it will execute the statements which I have given in echo. It will print those.
Okay.
But if I have not given anything, or if I've given wrong number, or if I've given invalid number, so it will print the desired default one.
This I understood. That is like if 1 to 10, and this is else statement of that, right?
Yes.
So apart from that, so usually in our normal switch statements and all, I mean in C# or Java, we'll have from 1 to 10. Sorry, there is some sound. 1 to 10 are all the switch statements, and post that we have some default thing. So it will be printed even after executing one of the switch
Okay,
cases.
means if you get the desired also, then also it will print.
How to do that?
No, here it is not like that.
Okay, in this it is not there. Okay, fine.
Yes. Okay. It
Okay,
will
fine.
print whatever you give, and see, you entered the number is 3. Okay. If you
Okay.
print any other thing apart from that, I'll print say asterisk. Okay.
Okay,
Invalid number.
right.
Okay. So at that time it will not print, but if the desired is not achieved, then it will print the default one.
Okay.
Now start with functions. Functions, like we write some script, okay, and we write it like that. Whenever we want, we can call that function somewhere. Like if I'm writing some function and later on I need, for example, add function is there. Okay, so inside the add function, you will write some script to add two numbers. Okay, now wherever in my scripts I need that function, what I'll do, I'll call that function. Okay, so calling that function will be automatically execute that add function if I need it somewhere. It's like that. So so if I in the script, if I call some function, right? Like there is a DB connection. Okay. DB connection. Now in the DB connection function, I'll write some statement. Okay. And then here are the statements for executing that function, DB connection. Now this function is closed. So here, if you call the function DB connection, your script, so it will execute the body of that function. So if you call this function sometime in your script, any script you are writing, already you have defined this function and you are calling this function somewhere. So it will execute all the statements inside the body of the function. And how you will call? So just simple like example script or example, you can write syntax as of now. So writing a script, some script, vi server migration, db server migration or anything. .sh. Now here you have to connect db or doing something. So I write echo db connection needed. So db connection needed. So I've already written some function to connect that db. So what I'll do, I'll call that function out. So I'll call the function db, simple. I'll write db connection, nothing else. So when I call, the function is already defined. When I call the function in the script, it will already I'll achieve that db connection and all, because I've written some function to connect that db. And wherever I want, I can write that. Wherever in the script I want, I can write that. Okay, so simple script like db connection needed, and just write the db connection. Once the db is connected, now after that, whatever you want, db backup starts here, and then you can write some commands over here, whatever commands you want, commands, statements, all those things. Now very small example, if I tell you vi function dot sh. Now like echo function demo starts or function example starts. Simple function like what I can say, any function to greet someone, function. Okay. And you have to write this whenever you start with a function, write like this, give the function name and brackets, and then start with a curly bracket here and write the function. So echo hello everyone, then echo good morning, echo this is good example of function, and then I'll close it. Now here echo calling the function. What I'll give the greet function. Just simply you can write the function name for calling it. Okay, so if you have a big script or something, you can define a function at the start, and then wherever you want to call it, you can call it every time. Here you will be needing this thing. DB connection, you can write the function. So whatever you will execute here, like username, password, or even some kind of connection string. Anything, okay, to connect that DB. Close it. And then it's like calling the function. So you can call DB connection. Something like this, example syntax. And here is that example for the greet function. chmod u plus x function. Function example starts calling the function, and it is executing the statements inside the function. Like this. So first we have written the function, and then we're calling the function. You can also do one thing here. Like if you want to keep any function, so just write a shell script for that function itself. Like for greet function, just write the shell script. Okay. And what you can do, you can, while executing some function, you can call that shell script. You can call that shell script from inside a shell script. So that will also run as a function. So this is function. See if any other example of function I have. Calling greet function, okay, like this. Okay, same thing in the greet function they have written like welcome to shell script and then calling the function in this same. So this is a function. I can give a, you can say, homework type of thing here. Right, functions or arithmetic operations for any two numbers. Then perform arithmetic operation by calling the function. So if you kind of a hint, you can create functions like this add function or subtraction or multiplication or division. So you can create functions like this. One line function it will create. Keep the functions and then at last call whatever function you want wherever. Okay, in the script. This kind of like homework you can do. All over with the Linux part. Just let's see what we have in Azure DevOps.
So this folder which you were showing for shell scripting, the entire folder is not there in the all files section drive.
Not there. So where it is not there.
So this before function we did one shell scripting today, right? It is not there.
Okay, switch case.
Yeah, switch and
So that I like I taught that today, so I'll upload it today. Okay.
okay,
Then for while loop it is updated.
fine.
Last class what we have done it is
Yeah. The last everything is there, but this true I was saying.
yeah. So I'll update.
Okay. Oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
So we have done with this. We'll start with Azure DevOps now. This is also Linux was also a part of DevOps only, but still. Okay. Save this file. I'll upload this.
Abhishek, for this function, it should be in the same sh file, right?
See, you can have in the same sh file, but if you don't want,
Okay.
in the sh file, what you can write this as a function. Like greet function I have written, you can
Okay.
simply write this greet as a function. And this greet, you
Okay.
can simply write as a function.
Okay. Direct in console.
Pardon?
Right. Direct like this in console, like how we
No,
create.
not the console. I am talking about directly write. Like if I written like I write a file greet.sh. Okay.
Okay.
Vi greet.sh. Now inside this file, what I can do, I can write this simple function.
Okay.
Okay. Press and escape. Uh, give permissions to this. Now here you have to give you go others also, because your shell script will be calling this script.
Right.
Okay. So plus execute and then greet. Now I'll write some script like calling the function like this.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll write
Vi
vi function one dot sh
calling.
one dot sh. Okay. Here I can give that like echo calling the function,
Yeah.
and I'm calling the greet function here. But since this will not execute because I'm not giving it here, let's see, chmod u plus x and then function one dot sh. Let's run this. Function one dot sh. Can you see? Not finding anything.
Yeah.
Because you
Reference.
have not defined in the script. But inside the script of this function one, function one dot sh. Now what should I do here?
Reference or using import.
Hmm?
Import that function.
Yes, wait. So instead of writing this greet, you can write some source. Okay. And source I can give like this. Greet.sh. Let's see if that works. Calling the function greet. It should.
You did not call it that greet.
Hmm?
Just go back to the function on that sh.
No, I'm executing the shell script over there. That
Oh.
greet function, greet shell script I have written separately.
Function call.
Wait. See, here I have written like greet function. Okay, now greet function says that all these things, whatever are there, is greet function. Okay. Now, here like I'm calling the function, or you can write here, I'm calling the greet function. Calling the greet function. I'm calling the greet function. And from where I'm calling my source. My source. And my source is that shell script. Like greet.sh.
Sir,
Or
understood.
understood now what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Sh greet.sh. That's what. That's it. So when I'm writing like calling the greet function, and it should execute the second one, source from where it should execute greet function, like this.
But function call is not there now. Next statement you have to write greet. Then it will call that function from this script.
Where
Next statement after source.
after source,
Enter. This is that import statement, understood?
okay.
The next statement.
After source, like whole statement after.
No. This last thing was not throwing any error. No, Abhishek. I think that syntax is correct. I guess. Source dot slash greet dot sh. That is perfect. I mean, absolute part because on the same
And
directory.
that is the same thing. Like if I write sh dot or greet dot, that is same thing.
Okay. So
Greet
next
dot.
statement will be calling that greet function.
Okay. So
Then it will be called.
okay. Like this.
Mostly, I'm not sure which syntax.
Okay.
All right, it should be fine then. Maybe that parenthesis remove in function 1.sh. That greet function.
Yeah. I'm doing that. Not needed to call greet function when you are calling a shell script over there.
Okay.
Not needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it is called. So got it?
Yeah, perfect.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can we copy this there and text word and notepad?
Yes, I'll do that. So greet function, and here write note. You can write a function as a separate shell script and then call the same from another shell script. Note, and how how you will do that. So vi dot sh. Here you can give this greet function, and then vi function one dot sh. One dot sh. And here you can write this. Before this, you can write the function in the statement, and here you can give source dot sh. You can give the greet function. Now that is okay, right? Hello.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
So Linux is all over. Okay.
Yeah, finally.
Finally, yeah, boring.
Not boring.
No,
but
no,
that
not
is-
boring.
Yeah.
Too many questions type.
It will not be boring when you will be needing it while writing pipelines and all. Okay, it will be helpful.
Mhm.
So don't. Someone maybe who knows, they will find it boring. Yes, because they always work on that. But someone who is new to the Linux, then they have to understand. Okay, now let's talk about Azure DevOps. Okay,
Mhm.
so very second class, first and second videos, like have you gone through that? First and second videos where all the like interest got generated in that videos, first and second one, DevOps. Okay, so first was like just we were discussing DevOps. Okay, so if I go to the DevOps class, what is the first class? Introduction.
Yes, sir. Gone through it.
Introduction, and then this one. Let me download these two. We'll be needing this as of now. First one. And then if I have the second one here. Go there and the what we have seen from the starting, like how it all started with the DevOps. Like first was the, what we can say, the old model where everything was sequential. Like when you start a project, then you gather the requirements, doing analysis, then designing part is there, coding part is there, testing part is there, operations, monitoring, support, all these things. And whosoever the people who are involved, like solution architect is involved while gathering the requirements from the product owner in the waterfall model or a traditional model, you can say. Okay, so gathering the requirement from the product owner, then doing the analysis, and then while doing the analysis, that solution architect needs to write some system requirement documents where it is all mentioned about the system, what is the system you will be needing for performing this. Then the third one like design part is also a part of the solution architect. And then comes the developers. Now, once the design is over, they will come to the developer to write the source code. Once the source code is written, testing team will come into picture to write the test cases and perform the testing. After that, the operations team will come into picture to deploy whatever is written in the form of code and whatever is produced in the form of artifacts. So whatever you write in the form of source code is always produced as a form of artifact, in the form of artifact. Now there can be different languages in which a source code can be written like .NET. Okay, so in the .NET form of artifacts can be DLL files, or it can be a zip file, zip package. So whatever you publish in the .NET package, you combine it as a zip, as an artifact. For Java projects, it is different files like jar file, var file, EAR file. Okay, so like this. So there can be different packages in different languages. So whatever it is written like source framework, according to the source framework, you can produce the artifacts, and you can use those artifacts to run that application in some environment. What kind of environment? It may be a web server, it may be a app server, or any other service which is provided by Azure or any other cloud provider. You can run your application on that, right? And then after that comes the monitoring and support. Now here in the traditional model, it was like that if I am starting with some project, or I am new in the market, I'm developing something, I'm a company, I have one project, so everything is done one by one. So if I am having one project only, then like there is no proper resource utilization. Means like till the requirement analysis and design phase is over, it takes like around 2-3 months. Until then my developers, they don't have any kind of work, testers don't have any kind of work, operation team don't have any kind of work. So it is a lengthy process and time taking. So long time to develop means sometimes 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, like that, 1 year also, some big applications. Okay, and no proper resource utilization. Now to overcome this part, they come up with agile model, where they focused on the management of the project, like how to manage a project. Like there is again a product owner, the scrum master, the scrum call happens, and then sprint. So first of all, there's a scrum call. In that there's a team availability, like how many developers are there, testers are there, operation team is there, team availability. It will check the team availability for some days. Like there are 2 months to develop a project, and in those 2 months, say always in the development team, they ask for, if you are going for a leave, holiday or something, just like if I am a scrum master, I'll say, okay, just inform me 1 month before or 1.5 months before, so that I can plan that sprint accordingly, right? So I'll check the team availability, like how many developers are there which are available, what are their leaves and all. Okay, testers, operation team, all those things. And then whatever the project will be, I'll be dividing those project into small features. Okay, e-commerce project is there, then dividing the project in login page, product page, cart. Further, I can divide these features also into small features. Okay, like if I develop cart or I develop payment page, so I can develop payment page into small features, like what kind of payment you prefer. Whether you prefer a debit card, whether you prefer a credit card, whether you prefer GPay, UPI payment, basically all those things. So I can further divide these into small, you can say, projects. Okay, not projects, features. Can develop features. Okay, and then whatever I gather, I can give it like sprint 1, 2, like 2 developers are there writing the source code, 2 testers writing the test cases, then 1 for deploying that and checking that. Okay, sprint 1, then sprint 2, 3, 4, like this I'll allocate. And what I'll do, I'll track these things. How I'll track? Using some tracking tool, like, and like you can have Azure boards in the Azure. So we'll be seeing what are Azure boards. And then you can have some enterprise tools as well, like Jira, ServiceNow. All these things you can use. Okay, and there you can trace everything. Now this sprints will go on, and like this they will be developing the project into small features. Now here what happens, everything is done parallelly here. Parallelly means some people are working on some login page, some people are working on some payment page. Everything is done parallelly, so there is a very proper resource utilization. Okay, and less time to develop. Maybe they can develop this application in 2 months only, or 7 to 8 weeks or 10 weeks only. Okay, 10 sprints, 12 sprints are enough to develop this project. Okay, but at that time you have to write each and everything like in a monolithic manner. Monolithic project. Monolithic means there are no features, no project management, nothing. Here you can do that, and then you can test in different environments like dev environment, stage environment, production environment, all those things. Okay, then there were drawbacks with agile also, like no automation was there and quick release is there. Like quick release, like you have to deploy all these things in different environments and then test. So maybe here, since there is no automation, you have to do all the releases as a manual. Like people will do the release from the operations team, and that may result in some errors. For that purpose, they come up with DevOps. Now using DevOps tools, they are very fast now. Like they have a version control system, and version control system, like where you can keep your code and you can keep different versions of it. Like I'm releasing some 1.0 and then I'm releasing some 1.1, but my client did not like that 1.1. What he is asking me to revert back or roll back. Now how will roll back? Since I am having the version control system, I can keep all the versions of the code in that. Okay, and from there I can deploy the last code which I had, so that my client can finally get back to that version. Okay, so you can revert back using version control systems. Second, like see like here, like Java code is there, so there are packages and all. You can keep these artifacts also. Okay, so once push the code in the central or distributed. Now central and distributed is something like central repository. What you can do, like if you are working in a central repository, then there is no option. You just have to do whatever you want and you have to push the code to the central server, and then like you have to pull it and push it. Okay, now second, in the distributed one, what happens? So in the central one, if you once you write a code and then you push it to the central repository, so if there any issue happens with the central repository, maybe the central server corrupts or something happens, you will lose your all the code. But it's not like that with the distributed repository. Distributed repository is something like each and every person will be having a copy of that version control system in their local system, so that if anything happens to the distributed control system over there in the like on the server, still each one can work in their own local repository, and when the server is up, they can again push their code to the central repository. Okay? That is a kind of distributed one. So nowadays we are using distributed one only, and the example of that is Git. In Azure also we have Azure repos. We have Azure repos, and that is also implementation of Git only. Implementation of Git. So if I come over here, you can see that in the Azure DevOps, like very first thing is there are different portals. Okay, for Azure services to be used in, we have Azure DevOps. For we have Azure portal, like we have it here. This is our Azure portal. We can use the services. Okay, we can perform anything. So let me close this. Stop this. Not in use as of now. Okay, so this is the portal. You can use the services here. Now for developing some application and hosting those applications, you need some services from the Azure portal, right? So those services are provided by Azure here. Now, how to develop for those tools are being defined in or given in another portal that is called a DevOps portal, and that is dev.azure.com. As you are seeing it, portal.azure.com, here dev.azure.com. Okay.
Yeah.
So in the dev.azure.com, how it works, like you have organizations, you have to create an organization. Okay, we'll see how to create an organization. Like just I'm giving an overview as of now. So
Mhm.
create an organization, then you have to add users to your project. Okay, so you will use add the users to the project. Then you will give the roles like basic role, stakeholder role, Visual Studio subscriber role, all these kind of role you can give. Okay, so in the basic is free and 5 users. Now if I show you the that Azure DevOps services.
But when you create a project,
Pardon?
you'll ask, when you create a project, it'll ask you public or private.
Yes, yes. That will come to that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have different services over here, and these are services which are used by developers. Okay, so that is what this is called a DevOps portal. So Azure boards are there, Azure pipelines are there, Azure repos are there, then Azure test plans, Azure artifacts, Azure boards. You can see these Azure boards are here. Okay, Azure repos where you can keep the code. Then test plans, you can write the test cases and all. Okay, test plans, and you can integrate with some features in the marketplace also. Right? Docker integration, you can Docker containers, you can integrate GitHub integration, you can integrate your this Azure DevOps to the GitHub also. Okay, all these things. Now if you go to the pricing, okay, two things. Wait, if I can see that link. I have Azure free account to start with.
So, sir, this will be a different login than the normal Azure portal account.
No, same. See,
Same. Okay. Okay.
speaking, yeah, same.
Okay. Okay.
Same login.
Yes. Now, there are some regions where you can host your Azure DevOps. Okay, so Azure DevOps.
So, Abhishek, charges will be for like DevOps, whatever we create inside a DevOps.
Yeah.
So they will also charge.
Wait. See, there are two. Now, when you start with Azure DevOps, there are two things: Azure DevOps services and Azure DevOps server. Okay.
Okay.
Can you tell me what is the difference between these two?
So DevOps service where we create.
Where we use the services inside the server, we
So
will
everything.
One is SAS.
Infrastructure.
SAS is services.
Yeah, infrastructure for doing the development and all will be provided by Azure in the Azure DevOps services. And infrastructure means like you need some
Machine.
server to write the pipeline and run the pipeline, right? So that will be
Right.
provided by Azure. All those kind of services will be provided by Azure. And Azure DevOps server means you will have an on-premise server running Azure DevOps services. On-premise server means you have to purchase some server and then you can set up Azure DevOps in your own server. That is Azure DevOps server. What is difference? So here you will own the infrastructure in Azure DevOps server, and here Azure will own the infrastructure. You will just using the platform and the services. So Azure DevOps Service and Azure DevOps Server. So there is a different licensing term for Azure DevOps Server, like Azure DevOps Server 2022 licensing. And if you go through this Azure DevOps Server, you can see this. Okay, no 3-year purchasing commitment, just pay month to month. Okay, so like earlier it was this, they have added just now. Earlier what was happening when you purchase Azure DevOps Server, okay, so it was a 3-year commitment. Now they have removed that. Okay, earlier it was a 3-year commitment. So whatever you can buy Visual Studio subscriptions, so you can buy that, or buy Azure DevOps Basic, all these things. So if you use this Visual Studio Professional, $45 per user per month. And if you use this basic with the test plans, $6 per user per month. This is a basics plan, this is a Visual Studio plan. Now we will see what is the difference between a Visual Studio plan and a basic license plan. Okay, or $250 per user per month Visual Studio Enterprise Edition. This is professional, this is enterprise. Okay, and $52 per user per month basic with the test license. Okay, so if you click on this, so what you will get in the professional, you will get a development environment, Visual Studio Professional IDE. Okay, so you will get this with the Azure DevOps Server and all. Okay, and if I talk about pricing, it's a $45 per month, and whatever you will be getting like this Visual Studio integrated development environment. Okay, and some more kind of services you will be getting with this professional one. If I go with the basics plan, so in the basic plan, these are all the basic plans, means Azure DevOps services only. Okay, so when I come here for the Azure DevOps services, for the individual services, like we are developing individual or we are creating some individual. Okay, so one free Microsoft hosted CI/CD and one free self-hosted CI/CD. What is CI/CD? Continuous integration and continuous development.
Development, right.
Okay, I think, where is that?
Continuous deployment.
Deployment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not a development. Deployment.
Not development, deployment only. Okay, so
Yes.
continuous integration and continuous deployment. Okay,
Right.
so a pipeline, you will write the pipelines. Okay, whenever code is pushed to the version control system, you will be having a pipeline. Now you will be having two kinds of pipeline, like build pipeline and release pipeline. Okay, and build pipeline, what it will do, how you will write the build pipeline. So you will be having some steps, like when I come to this, after this, see, continuous integration and continuous deployment. You call it a delivery also, continuous delivery. Okay, so take the project from the source code version control system and build the project, and then finally deploy the project in various environments like dev, QA, UAT, and production. Now for this, for doing CI, what you will be needing? You will be needing some host where your pipeline will run, where your pipeline will make a run. Okay, and that host is nothing but a virtual machine. Okay, now it can be a Microsoft agent also, it can be a self-hosted agent also. In the self-hosted agent, you have to create a virtual machine and you have to install a pipeline agent as extension in your virtual machine. That is a self-hosted machine. And Microsoft means Microsoft will provide you the agent. Okay, then what else these give, like here if you go, we are in the website. One free hosted, free Microsoft hosted CI/CD, one free self-hosted. These two will you get in the individual services. Now one Microsoft hosted job will have 1800 minutes per month for CI/CD and one self-hosted job with unlimited minutes per month. Means if you run a self-hosted, you will get unlimited. Okay, but if you run this Microsoft hosted, you will get 1800 minutes. So means you can run that pipeline for 1800 minutes. What else? $40 per extra Microsoft hosted CI/CD parallel job and $15 per extra self-hosted CI/CD. Once you exceed this free, you will have to pay this. Okay. Now, what is parallel job? If we come to parallel job, simultaneous execution of task will not happen in Azure. Means, say I am the developer. Jitendra is a developer. Pankaj is a developer. Now Pankaj is working on something else. I am working on something else. Then this Jitendra is working on something else. Now what will happen? Since we three are working on different things, we will be pushing that code from our local to the repository. From our local to the repository. Here we are developing something now. This is Pankaj. This is, you can say, Jitendra. Then Rohit is there. Okay, developers are there. Developers. Now they are working in different projects. Okay, writing some source code here. This is a source code you are developing. Pardon? Okay. Source code. You're writing some source code. And once you are done with your source code, what you will do? You will push your source code. This is your central server. All will be pushing. All will be pushing their source code. And this is your where you are pushing to the Git. You can either push in a GitHub, can push in Azure repos as well. So this is like version control system. Now here they are pushing, and what will happen while pushing? A pipeline will be run. Okay, so while pushing, a CI pipeline will run. So when a CI pipeline will run, it will perform a job. That CI pipeline will perform a job. What job? To push the code from local Git repo to the remote Azure repo. Or if you want, you can have GitHub also. both are version control. So there is a job which will run, and this job will be a CI job, continuous integration. Now, parallel job means when Pankaj pushed the source code, source code, there will be a job initiated. So job, CI job initiated. Okay, CI job initiated. When Jitendra pushed, again a CI job initiated. So CI job, I'll write in it. Okay. So Rohit pushed, again CI job. And then here also like CI job initiated. Okay. And she pushed, Priyanka pushed, then also CI job initiated. Now, what happens if you don't have parallel licensing? And since this is the first to be pushed, so it will run on the first priority. First priority. If it is pushed first, okay. So this job will be having a first priority and it will be running. And apart from this, whatever there is a second, third, say second priority, like this Rohit pushed, okay. So it will be in the second priority. But if you fall in the basic licensing, then this will be queued. This job will be queued and it will be executed only when the first will complete. Then after that, say Priyanka push the code. So it will be a third priority. And this will also be pushed. Queued. And then at last, like say Jiten push the code. So fourth. And this will also be queued. So this will be running once this is completed. This will run, it will run the second job. When this will completed, second one will be completed. The third one will be executing and then like one by one, no parallel jobs. Because since we are in the basic licensing, no parallel jobs. So when I talk about basic licensing, no parallel jobs or one parallel job they are giving, one parallel job. If we are in some other licensing, other may be a Visual Studio or any kind of plan, like other premium licensing. Then you can have number of parallel jobs based on the cost. So number of parallel jobs and it is pay as you go. Okay, now I haven't seen in the organization running parallel jobs. Always they run one by one only. Okay, so if
Yes.
some CI pipeline job is running, then you have to wait for that. If you are pushing the code, you will be in the queue. Okay, they never purchase this parallel licensing. Okay.
Then basic should be sequential job only, right? Parallel again.
Pardon?
It should be a sequential job only now. Abhishek, basic licensing. First, one parallel job, sequential job only, right?
One parallel job means like if this Pankaj is running.
Only one at a time, right?
Yeah, one at a time. Like Pankaj is running. Okay, then
It will be
Rohit can
queued.
run. That is one parallel job.
Okay.
No parallel job means 1 by 1 only. Okay, but they are giving one parallel job here, if you can see. Where it is. One Microsoft job 1800 for this and one self-hosted with unlimited minutes. Okay, I think self-hosted. Can you see one free parallel job with unlimited minutes?
Okay, that means at a time the other two can run.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and then this is the rate card. This is like for the
Speed.
no, not speed. It's for like whatever you will be, since you are using Microsoft hosted.
Mhm.
So whatever you will like, these jobs will have some logs, some output, something, some artifacts.
Okay.
So this is the rate card for storing all these things. Like 0 to 2 GB is free, 2 to 10 GB is dollar per 2 GB.
Okay.
Then 10 to 100 GB, $1 per GB. Then 100 to 1000 GB, 0.50 per GB. And more than 1000, 0.25 per GB. Like this. User licenses, basic plan you can have. Under the basic plan, moreover, mostly they choose this one.
In
With
live
all-
also, you people also use this, right? Or everywhere?
Mostly in the organization, they choose this one, basic.
Okay.
Okay, and basic plus test plan haven't seen because testing, they have some different tools they are using for testing. So many times they don't use these test plans from Azure.
Okay. So only development, only the CI/CD.
See, what is the difference if you have test plans like $52 per user per month? Here, $5 per user per month. Sorry, free 5 users, and then after that, $6 per user per month. Okay, so always they choose this one, basic plan. They don't worry about testing and all test plans because they have different tools also for testing purposes. Okay, like most of the time there is a automation testing going on, so mostly they purchase some different licensing for the testing. Okay, maybe I don't know what you can say, that automation testing and all. Okay, there are some like silicon testing and all, right?
Abhishek, I have one question. Like in a single parallel job, suppose two developer push the code at the same time. So two instance initiated at that time.
Yeah, two jobs will be running at the same time. One is whatever is running as a free, and one parallel job they will give.
One parallel job. on that.
Yes.
Is it
That
the same environment it will run the same parallel job?
Yes, same Azure in like Azure hosted. If you want Microsoft hosted, then Microsoft hosted. If you want self-hosted, then self-hosted.
Yeah, if I run the self-hosted, the same self-hosted agent is applying for the other microservice. So
Yes.
for the dev environment, so can we run the same agent to the both?
Yeah, you can run that. No worries.
But last time it is not running. That's what I'm thinking. What
Okay.
should we do? That case,
In the same self-hosted or in a different self-hosted?
same hill self-hosted. That's I'm asking.
Okay, then you must be finished with the minutes of the free pipeline or something, parallel pipeline or something like that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you are doing it in an individual license or the basic plan?
That need to check. I think it's a pay-as-you-go model.
Okay. Okay. Pay as you go model. So pay as you go model is basic plan only. You will pay $6 per user per month. First
Okay.
5 users will be free. After that, whatever will be added, 6th user, 7th user, you have to pay $6 per user per month.
Okay.
Being this solution architect, should we have this idea on testing things? Abhishek, you're saying usually you don't. The plan is there, no? Right side. Basically, should we have idea?
Yes. See, they gave 30-day free trial. You can always try it. No worries.
Okay.
Okay. You can try it and then you can go ahead with that. Or you can switch back to the basic plan if you don't want it.
No,
Okay.
should we have an idea? That is what I'm asking.
Okay. see whatever, like here, whatever is free, like Azure pipelines include the free offer from individual. When it comes to the pipeline, whatever they are offering here in the individual services for the pipelines, all the things, it is included here in the basic plan. Second, with the Azure boards, work item tracking and Kanban boards, like you will create work items, you will create APEC, you will create user stories, all those things. Okay, they will be coming with here. Then Azure repos, unlimited private Git repos you can have, unlimited. Okay, with a free plan. And then Azure artifacts, that is this what I was telling, rate card. So Azure artifacts 2 GB free per organization. So whatever number of organization you will create, for every organization 2 GB is free. And here with the test plans, like include all basic plan features, means whatever is there, it is included. Second thing, test planning, tracking and execution. Now you can have test planning as well, tracking also in the Azure boards, and execution as well. Okay, then browser based test annotation. Since see, I have not done with the testing and all, so I don't know about the test plans and all. Okay, so mostly the people who will be doing the testing and all, they know. Okay, so I'll tell you how to do that, but since I've not done with the actual projects and all test plans. Okay, so
On the basic, you cannot do testing, right?
pardon?
On the basic, you cannot do testing, right?
Yes.
You can or you cannot.
No, I haven't done testing. I was not never in the
No, I said in the basic plan, you can do the
No, basic plan,
testing.
they don't provide testing. Okay, you cannot do.
Okay, just on basic.
See, you can see the difference. This is the test plan. You have that symbol. Here you have not. Okay, so most time in the organization, you will not find this. 99% you will not find this. 95% you will not find this. 5% you can find, some or the other organization may be using, but I haven't seen this thing.
Hopefully, interviewer should not ask that test plan.
No, they will not. Even I bet that they will not know about the test plans and all
Thanks.
in Azure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they will not ask for that.
So Abhishek, like,
See,
I mean,
in Azure DevOps, what we do basically, what we need is first thing the Azure repo, second is Azure pipeline, third is Azure board for tracking, and fourth is Azure artifacts. That's it. We need an Azure DevOps. Testing totally depends on the testing team. Okay. So no one does that. No DevOps engineer will perform the testing.
Okay.
Or no administrator will perform the testing. They can set up the environment with taking this thing, but whatever inside this, whatever will be done, writing the test cases and all will be written by testing team only. Okay, even you will set up the repo, you will push the code, you know how to push the code and all, but that too is done by developer only. You will not do as a DevOps engineer. Okay, you will maintain all these services. You are the owner of these services as a DevOps engineer. You are the owner. Okay, but it's not like that you will be performing all those things. Okay, that is done by each different teams. You will be responsible for creating the pipelines and managing the pipelines, executing the pipelines, all those things you will be taking care, and managing the artifacts as well. Also testing of you can say code and all. Okay, so that you can perform, you can create an environment for that, but unit testing, what I'm talking about, you will not do. Only the testers will do that. Okay, unit testing. So I think anyone have not done the unit testing if he or she not worked as a tester or something.
Unit testing, Abhishek, it's also part of development. We are also doing.
Writing the test cases is a part of development, right?
Yes, yes, yes. We are
From our end, we do it.
we are writing the like a unit test case for every services. Suppose we develop any API or service.
Yes.
For that, we need to like create a unit test
Yes.
code.
Yes.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's what, like, how to do it in this part, it's out of my scope. Okay. Or I can see, or I can ask someone in my team, and then I can explain. No worries. Okay. But as of now, I've not done that.
Sure, sure.
Okay. And that is it's not like that anyone will ask or something, like, it's not that. Okay. Main part is these things. So includes all basic plan features, or see if we'll be having in the lab, we'll definitely do. Okay.
Abhishek, in basic plan, by default, $6 it will be add in
No,
our
see,
like in
what it is written,
for first 5 user
free.
free. Yes.
After that,
After that only chat. Okay.
yes, yeah,
Oh,
okay. So here based then rich client test execution. All basically this is basic plus test plans mainly focuses on the testing and all. Okay, basic is all given here. Whatever in the individual services and the basic plan is there already, they have written. Include all basic plan features. Rest is all about testing and all. User acceptance testing, centralized reporting, all these things. Okay. I'll ask someone in my organization if they know about this, because I don't know in my team as well. Someone knows this
Sure, sure.
test plans and all. Okay. Because we don't have this plan with us. That's why. So these are the ones you will learn. It's already 9:50. Tomorrow we'll be going to the this one signing up.
Once that image, please, and that not paint one. Can you go to that?
Yes.
Not this one, which you are
Okay.
the other one. That one.
Hmm.
Yeah, here on the left, right side, while pushing, while pushing a CI pipeline will run. Okay, in that this job will be there.
This CI pipeline will be running as a job only, like for pushing the code.
Okay, CI pipeline will be
I'll tell you in
in depth. Okay,
yeah.
fine, done.
Not in that. I'll tell you like performing that. Okay.
Okay, how to do it yet? Fine.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll be creating. I have myself has not created with this one account. Okay. So I'll create it new, and then you can also see how to create, and then we can create an organization and all. Okay. So these things I have already written for Azure DevOps, so it will not take time to write anything because I've already done this.
Boards and all you will tell.
Pardon?
Boards, all those things.
Everything.
Fine, fine.
Okay, everything.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
so Abhishek, today is office, so can we wrap up here or?
we are wrapping up.
Okay.